Kat is here from Not So Boring CPA. Today's video will be a little different. I actually spent almost entire day working on a client tax returns that involved a 1031 exchange, and I ended up doing lots of research because the transaction was not a typical property for property exchange. It involved something called DST investment, which stands for Delaware Statutory Trust. So while everything is still fresh in my mind, I thought it would be cool to record a quick video to share what I learned with you, right? So this video will be helpful if you're a tax preparer working with real estate investors and you don't know how to do 1031 exchange, and especially the one for DSTs. Or if you're a real estate investor doing your own taxes, kudos to you. Yes, you can do it. Because 1031 exchange can get complicated very quickly, especially when DST involved. So let me talk about it. So first, what is 1031 exchange? Let's start with the basics. A 1031 exchange comes from a Section 1031 of IRS, Internal Revenue Code. It allows investors to sell investment property and reinvest that proceeds into another investment property without paying capital gains tax immediately. You're right, you heard it right, without paying capital taxes immediately. It doesn't mean they're not going to pay it ever, it just will be deferral. So instead of paying tax today, the gain is deferred into a new property. This is one of the most powerful tax strategies available for real estate investors, right? But there's some important rules that everybody needs to know. So, examples of the rules. You must identify replacement property within 45 days. You must complete the purchase within 180 days. Another rule many people forget is you must replace both the equity and the debt, which is a loan, from original property. So here is a simple example to understand it all. Let me give you a simple example similar to what I worked on today. Let's say a client sells a rental property for $1 million. They still have a mortgage of $400K. That means their equity in the sale is $600K. So 1 million minus $400K. If they want to fully defer the tax, they need to reinvest the $600 equity and replace those $400 debt. The new investment must equal $1 million. So if they replace less debt or less property, they create something that very confusing terminology, but it calls BOOT, which becomes taxable. And now that's regular 1031 exchange. Let's talk a little bit about DST, where DST comes in. Now, this is where my client's situation became very interesting. So instead of buying another property directly, they invested in something called DST, Delaware Statutory Trust. So that's an investment partnership, for example, that allows investors to own fractional interest in a large real estate assets like apartment building, commercial offices, like medical building, whatever they purchase, lots of it. So many DST investments already include structured debt inside the investment, which means they can automatically replace the mortgage portion of the exchange with similar mortgage portion, right? So whatever you had before that loan, they'll find similar kind of loan for you. That's why DST are often used in 1031 exchanges for passive investors that don't want to be involved with renting their properties anymore. So the tax reporting. From a tax side, every 1031 exchange must be reported on this Form 8824 that we show it like kind exchanges. So this form reported the old property, the replacement property, the realized gain, the deferred gain, and the new tax basis. So in example before, if the property sells for $1 million and adjusted basis is $500K, the realized gain would be $500K. The entire exchange qualifies that $500K gain is deferred, not taxed immediately, right? So what personally do, because 1031 exchanges can get complicated very quickly, especially when we start dealing with DST investments, partial exchanges, mortgage boot, multiple replacement property, it's usually, I usually use I have this simple spreadsheet that I enter everything I know, and then eventually I can understand what was actually happening, what I need to put in as a tax software or on that form. So in that spreadsheet, I track sale of original property, adjusted tax basis, replacement property allocation, and at the end, the most important, deferred gain and new basis. So once those numbers are organized, entering everything into 8824 becomes much easier. So if you want a copy of the spreadsheet I use, I'm going to show it to you right now how it looks like. It's so beautiful. For 1031 exchanges, I will make it available for you. You can download the 31 exchange calculation worksheet using the link below or email me, please. And you can track your equity replacement, debt replacement, boot calculations, deferred gain, numbers from 80/20/24. So that will make it simple for you. So if you find this video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe to Not So Boring CPA, like the video, and check out my other videos where I break down real tax strategy for investors and tax preparers. And see you in the next video.